Hello, everyone, and welcome. It is so springtime outside. The sun's shining. It's actually plus Celsius. The snow is melting. Mine has come off my roof, all of it. I mean, I don't know if I mentioned, but I actually live above the pole circle, sort of thing, um, in Sweden. So we have very, very long winters. I would say it's winter for like 8 months a year or something here. And it gets incredibly cold and lots of snow. But when summer comes, that's the amazing part. And that's more or less the only reason why I stay here. I hate the winters. I'm sorry, I do. They're beautiful to look at, and I can appreciate it. I mean, we have northern lights more or less every night, and it's pitch black 24 hours a day, like in midwinter. For like some days we have sun up for 2 hours, but at the depth of it, it's like 0 hours of sun, 0 minutes of sun. Then summer comes, and it's this awesome total flip opposite, and we have 24 hours of sun instead. So all night, all day, all the time, sunshine. And it's magical and it's beautiful. It's also so very weird because when you have 24 hours of sunshine a day, everything happens very fast. So, like I said, we have 8 months of winter, but when spring starts, like it just did, well, now, and it's what, more or less the middle of April. So the sun's come up, the snow is melting. We're probably going to get a bit more snow. The nights are still around 10 sub-zero Celsius. It's not, full on spring, but it's happening. It's getting there. And the fun part is, in the middle of May, normally, things start happening very rapidly. And the sun's up more or less all day. And the snow is this at the last week of May, you can still have snow along the roadsides. And then the first week of June, you can go swimming in the lake. Because with that amount of sunshine, it just happens so fast. It's more or less overnight. One night it's winter, the day after it is summer. And I love that. But right now it is winter spring, we tend to call it, because it is still winter. But the sunlight and the everything is like spring. So we have this mix right now, this mix of winter and spring, and it's absolutely beautiful, and I love it because it really sends this like promise that summer is coming. We don't have to wait much longer now. Summer is coming. And that made me feel all chirpy and positive and stuff. So today's reading, we're going to be looking at one of those not really um how do I put this? It's not really a future reading or a tell you something about your future reading or stuff like that. It is very simple and easy. It is what about yourself should you really appreciate more? I don't know if that's going to be the actual name. I haven't named the video yet, of course, because we'll see what comes out in the reading as well. But what we're focusing on is what personality traits, what parts of you are you not giving enough attention and appreciation? So we're going to be lifting up your good sides, looking at them, and appreciating them. I really hope this sounds good to you because I am I'm actually excited about it. I love spring. Okay, so you have pile 1, pile 2, pile 3, pile 4. And I hope I'll see you in your reading. Hello everyone who chose pile 1 in this most springy and happy and optimistic what sides and parts of yourself should you give more love and appreciation. Again, I haven't actually named the video, but that's what we're going to be looking at. And we're going to, first of all, get one card from every deck to let them describe you and see if we can get any context or if it's just going to be standalone traits or how this is going to work. I mean, I don't know. So, first we get Heindel. And we get the Shadowscapes, I think it's called. And the Yolanda. And the unicorns. And I can already see I'm going to have to squish the cards up a bit because it won't fit. And the tarot, well, tattoo tarot, I think it's actually called. And now there's actually just one more. So if I do it like that, we can fit that in. Mystical manga, I think it's called, this one. And we'll see what they have to say about you. This is so cool. We're also getting a rune to like represent you. Oh, awesome. Let's see. I'm gonna start flipping over. I don't do reversals with runes. So I don't know, many things here, I was gonna say, suggests that you are in principle, I don't know if you're female or male. There are more female than male energies here, but you have the Queen of Cups, and then you have the King of Cups, so corresponding, telling us you're pretty balanced, and that you're probably a really caring person who's really, really in tune with the people around them, and probably yourself as well, to be honest. That you care about people, you care about things, you might be doing, like, I don't know, charity work or taking care of pets or fostering pets when they've been abandoned or things like that. But with the king as well here, because you have the Queen of Cups, and she can be overly emotional sometimes. Let her emotions run away with her or be overly sensitive. But then you have the King of Cups, which is very much someone who's in touch with their feelings and who is mature about them. You seem fantastic like that. You also have the Two of Coins or Two of Pentacles. So I'd say you are good at planning. You're good at staying in balance, in control. You know what to do and when to do it. Like there's no oh wow, I forgot the word. When you just rush off into things without planning or thinking. And you don't really do that necessarily. And I don't mean that to say that you're boring, but because you have the Four of Coins, Pentacles here as well, which means you are very stable, you are good at planning. Now, again, I'm not saying you're boring, quite almost the opposite. I get a feeling that you have this stability built into you, so whatever you do, it doesn't end up being a unthought through, chaotic, just random act, because you always have, like, you see these feet on the earth, and with the Four of Coins as well, and the Emperor, but we're getting to him. You are just that solid. So even when you do things that other people, if other people did the same things as you do, it would probably seem chaotic and unplanned. But since you always have this stability inside you, where you really just have both feet solid, planted, really in touch with your emotions, really in touch with reality, it never ends up being chaotic. It ends up looking like, yeah, you planned this all along. Maybe you did, maybe you didn't. But the thing is, you end up on your feet. So if that's improvisation or if it is just you being planning, no real idea. But you always appear so put together, so sure of what you're doing. Like, it's one of those people that you want to go to when things are falling apart around you. This is the person that you want to pat you on the shoulder and go, it's going to be fine. You want you want this person to hug you when you're sad. This is someone that you feel you can trust. Someone you really feel you can trust, actually. And you probably are trustworthy. You're also, with the Ten of Wands, you are a hard worker. You put lots of effort into everything you do. Maybe you overdo it from time to time. Maybe you, for example, give too much to people around you and it stresses you out or burns you out. That's something you might want to look into. Just give it a thought. But you are very diligent. You do your share. You don't, like, hide from responsibility. You are very good at, well, taking responsibility for what you do, also helping others with what they have going on. I'm still a bit actually leaning towards, if you are in some kind of charity line or if you do foster pets, something like that, because that is a lot of work, but it is catering to the whole emotional thing. And with the solidity and the stability that you have, you might be able to offer a lot of good things for people or animals or things in need. It's just what I'm thinking here. And I put a lot of stress here on saying that I don't think you're boring, and I mean that, because we're looking at right now are the things that you don't appreciate enough about yourself. That was like the point of the reading. Maybe you already know that you're very smart, or you know that you're very strong, or whatever, but there's no point in telling you things you already know. So what I'm thinking is that maybe you have been seeing these as being boring. And it's really not. It's more impressive. I get kind of jealous, to be honest, because I always land on my feet, but I make it look like, even when I plan ahead for like 6 months, it still looks like I haven't given it a single thought. I land on my feet, sure, but it's more like a cat thrown off a table rather than well planned. I'm taking this step, this step, this step. You seem balanced. You seem like you have your stuff in order. And that's not boring. That's impressive. It's admirable. And it's, it's actually a really good quality, because that means that no matter what you do, it's going to look so effortless. It's going to look like things just come to you. And it's great. And with the Queen of Cups and the King of Cups, you have this great balance on your emotions. You understand, you relate, you connect, and you can offer sympathy and empathy to others while being in control, which is, very important so that you don't get overloaded with everyone else's troubles. The Ten of Wands still seems to suggest that you do take on a bit too much at times, or just at the edge. Maybe you actually are that much in control that you know when enough is enough. Because, and now we get to the Emperor, which really suggests such a strong personality and a strong character, like the person that people turn to when they are in trouble. And I actually think that might be it. You have this problem solving, well, I want to say skill. It's more like blessing. You can fix anything. And maybe you don't always feel like it, given the Ten of Wands, but you're the kind of person that people intuitively trust. They know that you're gonna stand there. You're gonna be sturdy and stable and trustworthy and dependable and solid. Like when you have a foundation of something and you build a house on it, and you are the foundation. You are so very stable and trustworthy and dependable, but you're strong. Very strong. And the problem with this personality type I can see is you have a lot of emotions going on as well. You're not all about stability and dependability, because you also, for your rune, you have Logos, and this is the female rune sort of thing, and that's why I'm saying you have equal with the male female, but you don't, because you also have the Mandragora Mother, which will be your meditation card, by the way. It says, find the secrets hidden in the brambles. So meditate on that. In relation to yourself, I'd say, I think there's more to you than meets the eye. I really do. Because this is the intuition, the imagination, the healing. So, are you that good at taking care of others that... This is such a typical thing, but are you the person that takes care of others and they never take care of you? Or have you found that balance? We'll see if the dragons have an advice for you as well. Okay. So that's Artichoke Dragon with this little armor. And he says, guarded. And considering I know these cards, guarded here doesn't mean be guarded. It means be less guarded. Or rather, make sure that you trust the right people. So don't let people use you. You have amazing qualities here. Like, really amazing. But it might be that people do use you a bit because you are so strong, or you appear so strong and put together and in touch and intuitive and healing, and people want to come to you for that. It's just a signal you send out. You are a healer. But do be guarded. Don't let people use that or abuse that, or, you know, don't let them use you and not give anything back. It has to be equal exchange. Maybe you can help them right now and you do. Can they do anything for you? Are they going to do anything for you? I'm not saying just ditch everyone. That's not what I'm saying, but be selective. Still be selective. Because the risk with this kind of personality, and I'm not saying this is your entire personality, again, we're looking at the parts of you that you're not giving enough appreciation. And the risk with these personality traits in that case is that they aren't appreciated because they seem boring. They seem like something you can use. They seem like someone who gets used and who isn't seen as exciting. Not everyone wants exciting. Being stable, being dependable, being strong are very attractive personality traits, actually. Very attractive, especially today when society and everything, it's very hard for a lot of people, like economy, housing situation, job situation, mental health is like on a decline. People like you who actually can support and help others and who are in touch and who are hard workers and honest and strong, you are amazing. But the risk is that you burn yourself out trying to help others. So Artichoke Dragon then thinks that you should try to be a bit more careful, perhaps, who you let in. But also, it is a card that says, let those, like, boundaries, or let those walls down for the right people. You don't always have to be so strong and take care of everyone else and work so hard. Let others take care of you too, but make sure it's the right people. And you are balanced, you are strong. And the problem with being strong is always that weaker people need your strength. You are pretty amazing like that, and you are a healer, and that can be a blessing and a curse. Because again, people want to be healed by you. Instinctively, they will come to the healer. So those are some things about yourself that you might not appreciate, but you should appreciate them more. And if you're feeling used like this, consider going into it as a business. That way you don't have to help people privately, but you can do it at work. Because I think also with the cups here, that you actually enjoy helping people. With the Emperor, you enjoy giving them like pushes or hints towards their solutions. You take pride in when they fix themselves with advice from you, which is a great thing. Like natural healers, people that actually are healers, that's pretty rare. It really is. I don't care. I know a lot of people say they are, but then you also have all the I'm just in this to make money people, the like fakes. You are not fake. You're very real. So that's also worth taking into consideration. And again, then we have the Mandragora Mother. Find the secrets hidden in the brambles. You are amazing. Don't let people abuse that, but appreciate this in yourself. You're not boring. You are graceful and you have a natural connection with both yourself and the world around you. You land on your feet. You have a good brain, making sure that you do land on your feet. I like you. But look up the whole healing thing if you haven't already. Maybe you should work in healthcare, or maybe you should acupuncture, Reiki, anything. But look into if you feel any affinity there. Thank you. Hello, Pile 2. I think I've figured out now what this reading is actually about after Pile 1, which I love them. But what it turned out is this reading is what parts of yourself are you not appreciating enough. Because, yeah, if you know that you're really smart, or you know that you're really strong or fast or whatever, there's no point in me praising you for that. You already know. So now we're looking at, apparently, the things that you perhaps don't know or don't appreciate, even though you do know, or things that seem like negative but actually can be made positive. We're going to get one card from every deck I have so that they all get to speak up. I'm a liar because this one wanted two. I don't know why. It wasn't a lie, I was just wrong. Okay. But one from every deck at least to see. Because in case a card wants to repeat itself, for example, to say that, wow, this is extra for you. Or if they harmonize in some way, then it might be, yeah. So there's a long way of saying I'm going to get one card from each deck, and I don't like it being silent while I'm doing so. So I'm prattling. I'm just really, what's it called? Train of thought? Yeah. Anyways, let's have a look. Well, that's pretty cool. We're also going to get a rune to like describe you or this. Ooh. Okay. So this is kind of fun. You have 4 majors. That's pretty impressive. And they all have something in common, which we'll get to. Then you have the Son and the Daughter of Cups. So the Page and the Knight. I'm thinking you have 8 of Swords. And trying to put a positive spin on this one, yeah, I can do that. I can see it with the rest, but I'm not sure because also your rune. We'll get to that. Or maybe we'll start with that. This is Thurisas, or Thorn. It's a rune of power, of defense. Because, you know, if something has thorns, it stings you if you try to pick it up, or if you try to hurt it, for example. It's going to sting you. It's not going to be fun. 8 of Swords, on the other hand, is, I think, still very much about putting yourself in a cage. But I wonder if in your case it is more, since we're looking at positive things here. That's specifically what we asked for. We didn't ask to know that you are self-oppressive, which maybe you are. But what you are is you are good at protecting yourself. Very good at protecting yourself, I'd say, with this one as well. That you don't necessarily end up in bad situations if you can prevent it. That people don't... Oh god, I'm gonna say something so horrible now, but I kind of have to. There was an interview I saw, it's a long time ago, with the... I don't remember if he was a robber or if he was... He was in prison. And they were asking him, how do you select your victims? And they were expecting, like, I only attack small people that can't fight back, or people in high heels because they can't run away, or stuff like that. They didn't say that. This person said there were 2 things that marked someone as a victim or not. And the first was if they had hair that he could grab, like long hair or loose hair or hair in a ponytail, that he could grab, because then he could pretty much control them. No one runs away from their hair, and you can't pull it off to get away. You're stuck if someone is holding you by the hair. That was the first sign. That was the first thing he looked for. And then he said he looked at how they moved, what their like general attitude was. And he says it wasn't something he thought about. He looked at someone and said, is this person a victim or are they not? You are very much not a victim when you can help it. Like, you don't have... this is something I talked to with a friend of mine a while back, that the same thing that makes someone a victim is also the aura, I guess, that makes people want to protect them. So you have the bad guys want to attack them, the good guys want to protect them. You probably don't get protected a lot. You probably have to protect yourself a lot. due to this, because you have this sort of built-in protection. But maybe you're also a bit too good at using it. Maybe you don't quite know when or how to turn it off so that people will want to protect you. Because I mean, with the cards you have here, you're open-minded, you're smart, you're fair, you're giving oops, sorry. You give everyone a chance. You have the ability to see everyone involved's perspective. You can see things from different angles. You can take things and turn them around in your head and go, yeah, I can see that or that. You can make long-term predictions more or less on what's going to happen, because you have this very open mind that is always working, always, and always looking at what will this become, what can we make of this, and how can we turn this into the best positive outcome. You have an incredible mind, I think. And then you also, with the Page and the Knight of Cups, it sounds like you're always willing to listen to others and take in their angles, try to understand how they see things. This is you. Most people, no, not most people I meet at least are not, well, they might be open-minded, but they're still pretty certain of their own beliefs, that I think this way and that's just how it is. When they get into, for example, an argument, or a discussion is even better, because you can discuss things, let's say online, and two people have opposing opinions, and neither of them are trying to learn. Like, they're both there to win the discussion. They're both there to win the debate. I get a feeling that you don't do that, or maybe you do, but still, you're one of those rare people that will really listen, try to understand the argument the other side is making, and, well, in the cases where you do want to win, like where you're going, this is my opinion and I'm not going to change, you're going to change. You're probably really good at convincing people, to be honest, because you listen to their arguments, you do the whole seeing from the other angle, and then you can put it back in your service, sort of thing. The message I want to get out is this, and I'm going to use your words to get it there so that you actually understand. I feel like you are probably incredibly intelligent. Like, scary intelligent. I'm not sure, but that's just because being that open-minded and still being able to utilize the different input to arrive at better solutions, and to even understand why people do what they do. So that's also a point where you might give others a second chance when everyone else says they don't deserve it, and you know they do, because you have listened, you've understood, you've seen it from their angle, and you also understand what they went through that brought them to whatever the situation was, and that they learned from it. Or if they didn't, you can just ship them off. You're good at drawing boundaries, I think, or setting boundaries. But you will give people a chance. And that's, I don't know, if you're in counseling, for example, like couples counseling, I could see that work for you, because you'd be protected from being drawn in, and at the same time you could see both sides of the argument. You could help them put those together into a unified view of what's going on, help them understand, and help them meet at the middle. I'm not suggesting this as well, actually I am. This would probably be something you could make a career out of, probably. Helping people work past their differences, sort of thing. Let's see, I'm gonna get the dragon advice cards as well, because I want to see if they have any advice for you. Energy. Okay, so first there's this obvious with energy: watch your energy levels, don't burn yourself out. But there is also the protect your energy. Like, if you are receptive, you constantly, I keep seeing this, that you constantly pick up other people's energies and thoughts and ideas and opinions and angles and viewpoints, and you mesh it up and you put it out in a better, usually, format, that you don't let it get to you. Because if, let's say, just for example, with the working as a counselor thing, like if you were working as a couples counselor, you have your built-in protection. They're probably not going to get to you or drag you down, but you might want to watch over your energies. Don't give too much to this, and don't let others affect you. Because if you, let's say you understand, or you can reasonably see the viewpoint of someone who, oh, let's come up with an example that won't offend anyone. They hate sausage. And you can understand it, and oh yeah, that's actually a good one. You can understand it, that it's terrible and it's a dead animal being made into food and it's awful and horrible, and there you have to make the choice. Is this my opinion, or am I of the opinion that as long as the animal lived a good life and wasn't aware that it was going to die and scared, if it had a happy life, can I eat it? I know that's a pretty common actually opinion, where it's not veganism, it's eating meat, but moral. Like where you have the animals that walk free all year, and then they're picked in for, like, well, slaughter. But they live more or less wild their entire lives, except they also have access to vets and better food and friends and a small house when it's too cold, could arguably be seen as the moral way to go. I actually tried to stick by this. This is why I use this as an example, sorry. I eat meat, but only happy meat, as far as I am able to tell. I do my best there. But if let's say this was me, and I was talking to someone who said, oh, look at this pretty cow, it's so cute, and you're gonna eat it, and then I'm affected by that, and I change my opinion, I don't think you're likely to do that. Like, if you have an opinion, you have an opinion. But since you're always willing to see the other side and the other angles, you could still be affected. Maybe you're vegan and this version that I just spoke of made you feel like you're doing something wrong by not eating meat. I'm not saying that's the case. That's a stupid example, but it's just an example. So watch over that you always stay, that you keep your energy protected from what other people might try to make you think, feel. Because you are so, well, receptive. You are so open. And you're very, very good at, probably an excellent devil's advocate in debates, because you can take any angle and you are good at it. I feel like you are incredibly intelligent. I may be wrong, maybe you're just very smart, but something's going on here on a brain level that is just amazing. Your meditation card is the Fairy Harper. Find the words to long-forgotten songs and dance to the music in your soul. I keep saying I'm not going to interpret these for you, but I think you have a calling. Meditate on that. Find the words to long-forgotten songs and dance to the music in your soul. And make sure to keep your energy clean and unaffected by what others might want to make you feel or think. You are a gift to people around you. You honestly are, because you are so open-minded. You're always ready to try new things, think new ways, test out new arguments, experiment with things to see how you are great at that. But maybe you actually have a calling. So that would be so exciting to hear if you do. If this is something that you feel like, yeah, it's true, please let me know. I'm so curious. Thank you. Hi everyone who chose pile 3. I have finally now understood what this reading is actually supposed to be. I picked that up in pile 1. That we are looking at the sides of you that don't get enough appreciation. So maybe it's something that you're not aware of that is very good about you, or something that you feel negatively about, but it's really a good thing. So we're going to look at that, and we're going to get one card from each deck just to see if there's any context or any differences, or if the same cards want to come out, so that it's something that's extra strong in you, sort of thing. And I'm just prattling along here because the sound of silence is annoying. We're getting there. And one more. There. And we're also getting a rune to sort of describe you. Oh, wow. I don't think I've seen that before. Wow. So you have 4 of Cups, Page of Pentacles, 8 of Coins, the Tower, Ace of Wands, the Tower. And that's exactly what I meant when I wanted one card from each deck, because maybe the same card wanted to come out twice to make this a really, really strong point of your character. You also have your rune, which is Sovilo or Sigil. This is the victory rune. This is success, victory, joy, progress. This is when you reach your goals. You are a winner, is basically what it's saying. But I wonder, with first Page of Pentacles and 4 of Cups and the 8 of Coins, you are... This is the kind of personality, I would say, from what we're seeing here, is the kind of personality who should work in an emergency room or in an ambulance. Because you have solid, steady, dependable. You're... What's the word? Like, your expertise in the stuff that you do is unrivaled. You are so good at what you do, and you are careful. You do it right. You don't jump into things unnecessarily. And that's kind of it. And then you have this where you have the Tower and the Tower and the Ace of Wands. Which this is all... I mean, the Tower is when everything falls apart. The terrible things happen. You can't really even plan for it. But you can... as an example, when I was learning how to drive, and we drive stick in Sweden only, I had this, what do I do if I lose control of the car? Because if it's stick or if it's automatic, you have to behave differently, obviously, because you don't have any clutch on the automatic. And I learned to drive stick only. And I was, what do I do in either car, really, when I lose control of it? I don't know. And my brother said something pretty clever, there. And he said that you have to train your panic reactions so that you know in your marrow what you have to do when something goes wrong. So your panic response should be rehearsed. This is the feeling I'm getting here with the 2 towers. You are incredibly good in a crisis. Like, if something happens, you are going to be the one who's on their feet first and ready to, like, fix things. It really, I mean, the best comparison I can make there is someone who works in an ambulance, for example. They're the first responder. And then, when it's not in the crisis anymore, they can calm down without falling apart. Take it easy, slow down, just do everything meticulously and methodically, and do it right. And then, the bad thing happens, and they are whoosh. They have this energy and the correct responses, and they do the right thing. You're perfect in a crisis. You have all the right responses. It's like you were programmed with them. And maybe that's because of, well, I'm thinking that you might also be pretty smart. In the Ace of Wands here, I'm going to go ahead and suggest that either you are a very creative person. Remember, creative doesn't have to mean art. It doesn't have to mean music or acting or painting or drawing or anything like that. Creative, that's when you can create things from nothing or from other things or from circumstances, where you can have I'm sorry. There was an example in a book I read where you take a paper clip and then you write a list, and I think it was like you had a 2-minute time limit, I don't remember, and it doesn't really matter. It was limited time where you should come up with everything you could do with a paperclip. And the answers that were like received ranged so extremely, because in one it was like you can put papers together with them, and then they couldn't come up with anything else, literally nothing else, just its intended use. And then there were the people who went, you can unfold it and use it to poke into small holes to pick things out, or you can use it as a to fix things, like repair things, if you unfold it and use it as just metal wire. So there you've started adapting it into other things. And then there were the people that went, well, if we take the paperclip and we glue a water balloon to it and we send it along a string across the room, and then we have a needle in the front of it so that it hits the wall with the needle first, pops the balloon, the water comes down, you could use it as an alarm clock. And I was like, what? But it's true, and that's creative. It's not necessarily a good or useful idea, but the idea that you take a paperclip and all of a sudden you have an alarm clock, because no one said you only have a paperclip. So that's creative. That's really thinking outside of the box, coming up with new things. I think you are an incredibly creative person, maybe not artistic. I'm not saying you're not artistic, but I'm saying that it doesn't have to be artistic. And I'm thinking with the tower and the tower here, it's more you solve stuff and you do it when everything's on fire. You are the one looking at it going, yeah, we can fix our food over this fire. Or, you are incredibly creative is really what I'm seeing here. And you're good in a crisis. You think fast. You have good responses to things. The whole fight or flight thing, no, you're fight. Or rather, you are correct decision. If it's impossible to win this fight, you will already know that before it even happens, and you will be coming up with a way to avoid it because you are creative. If fight is the correct answer, then you know better than to just give someone like a punch in the face, because you are creative. You think very fast. You have good instincts, very good instincts. And with this, you are a winner. Yeah. I'm wondering though if it is. We're gonna get a dragon advice card as well. And I want to clarify something. I think I didn't in pile 1, I didn't in pile 2, but I think I do for you. That depends on the advice card. Yep. Pepper dragon. Versatile. Notice how this dragon has 3 heads. So it's the bell pepper. Orange, red, green. And it can be used for anything. Because they have this versatility that you can put them in any situation and they'll adapt. They'll bloom. They'll be perfect. You can fry them, put them in a stew, stuff them and put them in the oven. And it's pretty much the same thing with you. You are incredibly adaptable. You learn fast. You reach experience and expertise fast. You know when to take it slow and when to jump ahead. You have so good instincts, I think. Then it doesn't really, they can put you anywhere and you can do anything. You're the person that survives the zombie apocalypse. The one with all the great ideas, the one who isn't stunned by the crisis going on around them, but the one who figures out what to do, when to do it, how to do it, and then just gets it right. You're probably also very adaptable in your friend circle. Like you can be supportive at one moment, or you can be the coach in another, or you can be the tutor in one, or, very, very versatile. You have seed spells. Create your story. It is the most potent form of magic. I know I shouldn't play favorites, but out of these piles so far, you are impressive. I've liked both pile 1 and pile 2. They seem like good, nice people. You, on the other hand, are impressive. You're the kind of person that can revolutionize things if you want to. Just come up with where you want to apply yourself. You could well, again, you could work in an ambulance and save lives, or you could be the leader in the zombie apocalypse and save the world. And you know what the right response is, when to take it easy, when to speed up, when to do what. You have all this built into you for some weird reason. Maybe you've experienced a lot of crisis in your life and you've learned from them rather than be destroyed by them. So that now you know how to handle yourself, and you know how to handle situations, you know how to support other people, you know how to support yourself, you know how to fix bad situations or make the best of them. And I keep coming back to, you're a winner. Even if it maybe doesn't feel like that, all you need to do, and I think that might be it. Um, People are not, well, some people are not going to like this, but MBTI, there's a personality type there called the ISTP, which is introverted sensory thinking and perceiving. So they are, and they are the first responder type sort of thing. You feel like one of those. And they, even if we don't believe in MBTI, I'm using them as an example here because they often have trouble with getting started, sort of thing. They have this natural take it easy mode, and then when things heat up, they jump to response, they do the right things, they understand the situation, they're instinctive, and they do it so perfect. And then when the crisis is over, they sit back down and it's like they're meditating or sleeping. They can be a bit difficult to start, but when shit happens around them, sorry, bad word, they are amazing. They thrive on critical situations where they are pushed, where they are not necessarily threatened, but where there's a need. They thrive on that. And then, when the crisis is over, again, they can sit down, relax, they have taken no damage. I mean, a lot of people can't handle the stress that comes from, again, I'm using the ambulance example. Because you're, one moment you're just cruising around waiting for a call. The call comes in and you have to be on your toes. You have to do everything right. And then you have to manage to relax again 2 seconds later when it's all over. A lot of people can't handle that. It's too much up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down. You don't have that problem. So for you to motivate yourself, I mean, you do on spikes of adrenaline sort of thing. It seems like you are very good with that sort of thing. So that's where this one kind of comes in. Seed spells. Create your story. It's the most potent form of magic. Decide what you want, and then you treat it sort of like this. So you can go up, down, up, down, up, down. You're the type of person who can cram knowledge overnight for a test, and then you do nothing all week except for the stuff you want to do, like eat crisps. I don't know. And then the next test, you do the same thing again, and it actually sticks in your head. It's not just there for 5 minutes. You actually learned. And you can relax afterwards. You are very adaptable, and you know this. So find some way to apply this in your life that will lead to success, because you will be successful. You are, well, you are a winner. I keep saying that. Really look into this. It's really interesting to see this show up, but I mean, you're the kind of person that's supposed to save the world. That's you. You just have to decide how to do it. I am so excited about this. Please let me know how you felt about it and if it seems to be true. Thank you very much. Hi, Pile 4. I'm having so much fun with this reading. I love everyone so far. Pile 1, Pile 2, Pile 3. They've all been amazing people. And what I've learned during this is that the reading is about what parts of you or what sides of you should you appreciate more. This may be a side of you that you're not yet familiar with and that we can lift out here, and you can go, wow, I guess you're actually right. I am like that and I'm going to appreciate it. Or it's something that you may have seen as negative so far, but we can put a positive spin on it. We're getting 1 card per deck because, well, it happened in Pile 3 actually. They had 2 of the same card come out from, well, 2 different decks then. it didn't happen in 1 and 2, but I still want to use 1 card per deck, just to be sure that the possibility is there if it is needed. So these cards, 1 per deck, will describe you, or this or these sides of you that needs more appreciation, deserves more appreciation. Also, we'll see. I'm doing a bit of an experiment here, actually. And we'll see after the reading, or mid-reading, if it turns out to be true here as well. These readings always take paths I don't quite expect or haven't planned for. But anyways, there are your cards, and we're gonna get a rune as well for you. Ooh, I actually saw what that was when I picked it up, and this is gonna be so exciting. That is so cool. I am saying that's so cool because as I said, I saw your rune when I picked it up. And it's the same rune as in number 3, pile 3. It is Sovilo, or Sigil. It's the victory rune. Basically, yeah, victory. That's what it is. Success, victory, joy. You are a winner, is what it says. I don't know if you have a habit of things turning out in your favor without you really realizing or appreciating it. Maybe. So you have Page of Stones, Knight of Wands, the Moon, the Page of Wands, the Empress, and the Wheel of Fortune. Which I think, with the Wheel of Fortune especially, and the Empress and the Moon, well, all of them really, the Page of Wands and the Knight of Wands really suggests that you have good ideas, you have passion, you have drive, you are curious, you are interested, your mind is always like looking for things to be engaged with, and not necessarily in an intellectual way, which doesn't mean you're not intelligent. You probably are intelligent, I don't know. But this is more of the mind that asks, why? Why does it do that? Why is it like this? So that it can understand, but not for the sake of understanding, but for the sake of bending reality, sort of thing. If I know why a stick catches fire when I add heat to it, for example, when you do the stick rubbing thing, then I can apply that principle to other things. So understanding in order to make useful or make use of. And you are always, your mind is always all awake with this and looking for things to understand, looking for things to get inspired by, to run off to the circus with, sort of thing. But then you have the Page of Stones, and I'm guessing that kind of holds you back. I was going to say adds a bit of calm to that. Makes it more rational, makes it more planned, so that you're not just running into walls going, that. But instead it's like, and now that we have tried this, how can we do this? So a bit of wisdom added to this insatiable curiosity and drive that you have. With the Wheel of Fortune, I mean, you have 3 majors. So the Wheel of Fortune, the Empress, and the Moon. The Moon is a bit tricky here because I almost always, think of the Moon as being overly cautious, as mistrusting your intuition and maybe that's it. I don't know. Or it's that you have, what's that called? Where your dreams come true. I don't remember the word, I'm so sorry. I'll add it in text or something if I remember to do so, but I probably won't. But when you dream stuff and the dreams come true, that sort of thing. Could be that. But I'm more thinking that you, for the greater good, don't always listen to your inner wisdom. And that can of course be a good thing, but it can also be a bad thing. It might mean that you're sacrificing things unnecessarily, that you are perhaps being overly cautious or overly logical, because again, with Sigil, you would win whatever you decided to do. Some may note that I've chosen to carve this differently than it is in reality. That is for a very, very silly reason. In World War II, these were used as symbols, and I kind of decided to veer off from that. Enough said. We're not going to address that further. Anyways, so the Empress, again, is this... I love the Empress. I may have said that I've designed a deck by myself. I haven't actually drawn it because I can't draw, but I've written the descriptions of every card. And in mine, the Empress is this troll mother who she has 11 little baby trolls, and she's pregnant. And then she's like putting them to bed, and in the background there's a table with a knitting and a book and a small piece of cake, because she is taking care of others, but she's taking care of herself as well. And she is this loving, warm, really, well, motherly, but not necessarily in a I have children way, but in this warm, welcoming, taking care of energy. And it doesn't have to be female either, but you get the idea. I'm with this then, I am thinking that perhaps you make sacrifices for people around you, is kind of what I'm thinking. Which is a nice personality trait, of course, but you should never sacrifice what you want and what lights you up. And that's kind of the thing I'm seeing here. You are so, I think, curious about everything, to try to understand and be inspired by everything, but then you don't let yourself run off and do it. And I kind of want, I mean, in some situations that might be good. Like I said, I used Run Away with the Circus as an example there, because you might feel drawn to do that. And maybe running away with the circus isn't the best move if you, for example, have small children. But if you don't, there's the internet. If you have no responsibilities and you want to run away with the circus, you go run away with the circus. That's really one of the best things you can do for yourself. And I don't mean literally the circus, but the thing that to you represents that. We're gonna get a dragon advice card as well. And it doesn't have to be necessarily related to what I just said. We're about to find out what the dragons would give you as advice. And we have Shine. Yeah, thought so. So you are probably holding yourself back. And that sounds like something negative. It might be good. It might be because you are the Empress. You don't feel like you're really sacrificing too much, because it would really, with Wheel of Fortune and the Empress, would probably mean that you feel perfectly at peace. That you actually are happy. Maybe the wandiness comes up from time to time and makes you go, I wish I could do this, but meh. And then you go home and you do whatever, or you go out with friends. You go do the thing that makes you feel happy. And you don't sit crying over whatever unexplored path this was that you kind of wanted to take, but you didn't. And you don't feel loss or depression over it, because you actually have built a happy life, or you have a happy ground, like base attitude to life. It's built in you. You have this stable and optimistic view, but I think you're not letting yourself really act on these fiery impulses. And Tomato Dragon says Shine, which to me kind of suggests there is something that you really want to do with this drive. You're holding yourself back, not necessarily because it would be a disaster either. You're maybe a bit careful, or maybe you're just thinking, I already have everything I need. Why would I jump to this crazy thing just because, when I'm already happy? But Wheel of Fortune and Sigurd, you could be a winner with this. You have so many good ideas. You could be, if you, okay, let's put it like this. If you actually are happy with your life, then I see no reason to change. But that's provided you are actually really happy. And if this actually means that you, oh, I am so angry with myself, that your dreams come true. Like literally. You dream that the coffee mug is gonna break, and then in the morning the coffee mug breaks. I, again, can't remember the word, sorry. Um, Maybe use that to like follow those signs, the hints that you get. But I don't know. You seem, again, you seem happy. You're an optimistic, stable, good person that could do something amazing with these ideas. And I don't think that this is that you're gonna win the next Nobel Prize, but you could probably use this to like start a small business or something, because you have the drive, you have the curiosity, you have the planning, you have the stability, you have the everything, and you are a winner. Whoops. Uh, so if you are carrying around some small idea like let's start selling chew toys flavored with cherry, that is a really dumb example, but it doesn't have to be multi-million scale is what I mean. It could just be something small that, like, I mentioned the paperclip. Actually, I mentioned the paperclip in pile 3. I'm going to mention it here again. That, but in a different angle here. The paperclip. Really small invention. Really small invention. It's not big at all. But it's huge. Everyone uses paperclips. They are so useful. You can do so much with them. And your idea here, it doesn't have to mean run away with the circus. It can mean you invent the new paperclip or the next paperclip. Like this small thing that really becomes a big thing. And that lets you shine. And, well, probably eases up your finances and makes you a bit of a name. Even if you're not famous. You see how I mean, sort of? I think it might be something along those lines. Because you really are inventive. But you're also very stable and optimistic about your life as it is right now. I don't think you want to run away with the circle. Circle? Why do I keep saying circle? Is there something about circles here? Or is it just my English being really, really bad? The Wheel of Fortune. My English is not so bad that I would say circle instead of circus every time. I want you to think about circles for a while. Consider if they have any special meaning to you. Do you feel like you're just going in circles? Is that why I keep saying it? Or is it that you want to? I don't know. Let me know in the comments, please, because I'm really curious. I mean, English is not my native language, but circle and circus, not even close to the same word, sort of. I mean, the first bit is, but let me know if circles actually mean anything to you. And you have your meditation card, which is the Thimble Witch. There is magic in beginnings, so start something new. Couldn't have said it better myself, actually. You are supposed to shine. You are a winner. You are inventive and curious. You are stable. You're warm. You're loving. You have an optimistic view on life in general, and you can stand the ups and downs. You are great at improvising like that. Maybe you're holding yourself back unnecessarily. Maybe the ramifications won't be as big as you think if you act on this idea just a bit. Let me know how this feels for you, and thank you for watching.